One day, everything will end. Not just the trees, the mountains, or the oceans, not just the earth or the sun that gives us life, but the entire universe. Every galaxy, every star, every single atom, and the very fabric of time itself. It is the ultimate expiration date, the final curtain call for reality. For thousands of years, humanity looked up at the night sky and saw a symbol of eternity. The stars were fixed, immovable, and seemingly immortal. To the ancients, the cosmos was a static, unchanging theater. But in 1929, a man named Edwin Hubble looked through his telescope and shattered that illusion forever. He discovered that the universe is not sitting still, it is screaming away from us. Every galaxy is rushing into the void, and the farther away they are, the faster they go. This revelation gave us a terrifying insight. If the universe is expanding, it had a beginning, the Big Bang. But more importantly, it means it must have an end. Current observations from modern cosmology, fueled by data from the James Webb and Hubble telescopes, suggest that the most likely fate of our universe is heat death, a slow, agonizing fade into nothingness. But there are other, more violent ways for the cosmos to die. Before we travel to the very edge of time, I have a small request. If you are watching this on your television, grab your remote and hit that subscribe button. Your support ensures we can continue exploring the unknown. Now let us face the end. Before we discuss the death of the universe, we must witness the end of our own neighborhood. The universe will still be vibrant and young when our story ends. Our sun is roughly 4.6 billion years old, halfway through its life. But in about 5 billion years, it will run out of hydrogen in its core. Gravity will begin to win the tug-of-war against the dying internal pressure. The core will collapse, becoming hot enough to fuse helium. This will cause the sun to swell into a red giant. Imagine the sky turning a hellish, bruised crimson. The sun will expand until it swallows Mercury, then Venus. On Earth, the atmosphere will be stripped away. The oceans will boil, turning into steam before escaping into the vacuum of space. The very crust of our planet will melt into a sea of lava. Eventually, the sun will shed its outer layers in a beautiful, glowing planetary nebula, leaving behind only a white dwarf, a cooling, Earth-sized corpse of a star. Our home will be gone, but for the rest of the cosmos, the show is just beginning. This is the scenario that keeps physicists awake at night. It's not a slow death, it's an execution. About 68% of the universe is made of dark energy, a mysterious force that acts like anti-gravity. It doesn't just push galaxies apart, it stretches space itself. If the density of this dark energy increases over time, a concept known as phantom energy, the expansion of the universe will become uncontrollable. In this scenario, the scale factor of the universe reaches infinity in a finite amount of time. The countdown to the rip. 60 million years before the end, gravity loses its grip on a galactic scale. The Milky Way begins to fray at the edges. Stars that have been bound together for billions of years are torn away from their orbits, drifting into a darkness so profound that no telescope could ever see them again. Months before the end, the solar systems dissolve. The Earth is yanked away from the dying sun, but the horror doesn't stop in the void. 30 minutes before the end, the force of expansion becomes stronger than the gravity holding planets together. The Earth's core shatters. The mountains, the tectonic plates, and the very ground beneath your feet are ripped upward into the sky. The planet is literally torn to pieces. The final microsecond. The expansion reaches the atomic level. The electromagnetic forces that hold molecules together fail. Your body, every cell, every DNA strand is unraveled. Then, the strong nuclear force that holds atoms together is overcome. Nuclei are torn apart. Finally, the fabric of space-time itself reaches its breaking point and snaps. There is no where or when anymore. just a shredded reality. While the Big Rip is a story of expansion, the Big Crunch is a story of ultimate gravity. This theory assumes that the critical density of the universe is high enough that gravity will eventually halt the expansion. Think of it like a ball thrown into the air. Eventually, it must stop and fall back down. In this scenario, trillions of years from now, the expansion stops. For a brief, cosmic moment, the universe stands still, and then it begins to shrink. As galaxies rush toward each other, we see a blue shift in the light. The cosmic microwave background radiation, the echo of the Big Bang, gets compressed. This radiation, which is currently a freezing 2.7 Kelvin, begins to heat up. The universe becomes a cosmic oven. The temperature rises until space itself is hotter than the surface of a star. Stars cannot shed their heat. They begin to cook from the outside in until they explode. Finally, all matter, all black holes, and all light are crushed into a single point of infinite density. A singularity. Some believe this leads to a big bounce, where the singularity explodes again in a new Big Bang, a never-ending cycle of death and rebirth. This is the most terrifying end because it is instantaneous, unpredictable, and could be happening right now. It involves the Higgs field, which gives particles their mass. Scientists suspect that our universe is in a false vacuum, a state of unstable equilibrium. Think of a rock balanced on a narrow peak. It's stable for now, but one gust of wind away from tumbling down into a much deeper valley. If a quantum tunneling event occurs anywhere in the cosmos, a bubble of true vacuum would be created. Inside this bubble, the laws of physics are completely different. Chemistry as we know it is impossible. Atoms cannot exist. This bubble would expand at the speed of light. Because it moves at the speed of light, you cannot see it coming. There is no warning. No telescope can detect it. One moment you are drinking your coffee, living your life. The next, the bubble hits you, and the particles that make up your body are instantly rearranged into something else, or simply erased. The universe is reformatted in a heartbeat, the ultimate cosmic reset button. Despite the violence of the other theories, most cosmologists agree that heat death is our most likely destiny. It is the inevitable result of the second law of thermodynamics, entropy. Entropy is the measure of disorder. Energy always moves from hot to cold, spreading out until it is perfectly uniform. Once everything is the same temperature, no more work can be done. No life, no light, no movement. 1. The stellar era. This is where we live. The universe is full of gas, stars are forming, and life is possible, but it won't last. In about 100 trillion years, the last clouds of hydrogen will be used up. The final stars will flicker out. 2. The degenerate era. The universe is populated by the corpses of stars, white dwarfs, neutron stars, and black holes. If proton decay is real, then over trillions upon trillions of years, the very atoms that make up these dead stars will dissolve into radiation. Solid matter will literally evaporate. 3. The black hole era. Only black holes remain. They are the undisputed kings of a dark, cold empire. But even they are not immortal. Through Hawking radiation, they slowly leak energy. A supermassive black hole will take a Google years to evaporate. 4. The dark era. The final black hole pops out of existence in a tiny flash of light. Now there is nothing. No matter, no stars, no heat. Just a few lonely photons and electrons wandering through a void that is billions of light years across and near absolute zero. Time loses its meaning. Without change, there is no way to measure the passage of time. The universe becomes a vast, silent, and frozen graveyard for eternity. Looking at these scenarios can make one feel small, insignificant. If the end is a cold, dark void, what was the point of it all? But consider this. We live in the golden age of the universe. In the trillions of years of cosmic history, we are here during the brief flash of light when stars shine and life can wonder about its own origin. We are the universe's way of looking in the mirror. The fact that it ends makes this moment, right now, infinitely more precious. We are cosmic billionaires, living in the only season that matters. So I ask you, which ending do you find most realistic? Will we go out in fire or in ice? Does the idea of a silent heat death bring you peace, or does the violence of the Big Rip haunt your thoughts? Let's discuss it in the comments. I read every single one. Thank you for walking with me to the end of time. Don't forget to subscribe, and as always, keep looking up.